Good morning, everyone. I'm still in bed because it's my rest day today, right? So I actually slept something like 12 hours, 13 hours, 14 hours, I don't know. Hell of a lot of time, which is good. I needed that. But that's enough. Time to get up. Fuck, man, where's the sun? It's always raining in London, you know? See what I'm telling you guys? It's always raining. Raining. Next up, body check. Still have this little fatties thing here going on. But at least it's getting a bit leaner, which is good. Yeah, so that's what I do every morning. I empty one of these because hunger sometimes can be mistaken as thirst. As I just felt a bit hungry, I thought I'd drink a bit of water. Here's a plan for today. I'm actually gonna go to a coffee shop around the corner as soon as it stops raining, and because I like working from coffee shops in a way. It inspires me because I, you know, when you sit at home all day, it's not like I do that very often, but in terms of working, I just like to be sort of in a vibrant sort of environment where people come in and out and so on. I put my headphones on, I mostly listen to like hardcore or something like really strange German, you know, and then I do my work. I actually can think really well, because what happens is that I actually don't listen to the music. The music sort of puts me into a zone. I like doing that, and I like watching other people when I, you know, a bit of inspiration by having a nice coffee and stuff like that. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I wear contact lenses, guys, so I need to, you know, the way you do it, you need to clean them. And I remember the very first time when I tried to put in the contact lens into my eye, I nearly freaked out. There you go. Number one inside. And here comes number two. A lot of people don't know I'm wearing contact lenses, which is really funny. But I remember I was in a club once when I was younger, and I was a bit drunk. That was in my youth, by the way. And there was a guy. He was wearing glasses, and I said, "Oh, you know how you are." I just took the glasses, put them on, and all of a sudden I could see better with his glasses than I could without. And I'm like, shit, I need to go to the optician. So next day I went, and guess what? I got contact lenses. See? This is how it is in London. So now it's time to go outside because the sun is shining, and I need to do some video cutting, editing, some more work on my website and stuff. And yeah, so let's find a good spot. Here we go. Okay, He-Man is ready. Here we go. I wonder when the next superhero movie in terms of He-Man versus Skeletor is coming out. What do you think? Oh my god, this is so cool. I want to show you. Hope you can see this. The very end. Whoa, I nearly fell over now. Are policemen on horses. You see that at the very end? Right over there. This is cool. In London we have sometimes policemen on horses, which is really cool. Just arrived in this coffee shop and actually everything is busy, as you can see. All the seats are taken, so this is what happens when you work on the go. You need to find a good place. So after this coffee, I'm gonna move. At the moment I'm doing some, answer questions of emails. So after that coffee I'm gonna find another space. 700 grams of chicken breast, which is really nice. And then we've got some sweet potato mash going with it. It's dinner time. I just want to show you what I'm having today, and that is a lot of chicken, sort of sweet potato mash, 2 pita breads, and a massive salad. That's sort of my only lunch today, so not lunch, dinner. I'm gonna enjoy that now. So you've been asking me about supplements, right? For a long time, so here we go. It's something we've been all waiting for, right? Well, at least I think you guys have. Anyway, what I'm gonna do today, or right now, is I'm just gonna talk about the supplements I'm taking. I'm not gonna do an in-depth review of every single one and why and so on and so forth. I want to sort of run through them a bit more quicker, otherwise this video is gonna be like 55 or 2 hours long. So after I've presented all of the supplements I'm taking and the ones I recommend and so on, I want you to ask me questions specifically about them, what you want to know, and then I'll make a video maybe of every single one in detail, or however we roll. I don't know. This whole blog and this whole series, this raw series, is about me interacting with you and figuring stuff out on the way. Before we get into this, I want to make sure you understand the difference between substitute and supplement. Now, a substitute just means that you substitute one product for another. So instead of product A, you're now using product B. Whereas a supplement just means you're using product A and product B. Why is that important? Because I'm going to talk about substitutes and supplement, and I want you to understand what that means. So the first supplement I take is a multivitamin tablet. Just because we have so many, another comment by the way. We have so many micronutrients and minerals which we might not get through our normal diet, just because even if you eat all biologically sourced and everything and so on, there is no way on earth that you will get every single nutrient to the exact amount you need it every day. Is this one from Wellman. I've been using it for a while now and I'm actually quite happy with it so far. So the next supplement I take is fish oil. Yeah, I talked about this before. EPA and DHA are essential fatty acids, omega-3 acids, which your body cannot produce, so you need to take them in from external sources. Now, if you are a vegetarian, you can eat flaxseed or get flaxseed oil instead of fish oil. But in terms of bioavailability, that's a term you might have heard, and it just means how good your body absorbs the tablets you're eating. And fish oil is much more potent than flaxseed oil in terms of our bodies being able to convert that oil and use it properly. And generally, one thing a lot of people don't know is that fish oil itself is not oil which makes you fat. It is, for example, that your cell membrane is made out of, is sort of like a squishy sort of membrane. And omega-3 acids, omega-3 fatty acids are there for making sure that the cell membrane stays like nice and squishy, and because nutrients come in and out throughout this cell membrane or throughout your cell. And if that gets porous, I don't know what that means. It's like a leather jacket. You might, if you get a very expensive leather jacket and you go outside into the rain and you come back inside and that leather jacket dries, it gets these cracky sort of, it's basically ruined, right? So that's why you have to wax your leather jackets. And that's the same thing with fish oil. It's a bit like waxing yourself, if that makes sense. But that's just one benefit of it. One other one is inflammation is a big one. So I always take 6 to 9 tablets actually at night, because 3 tablets is 1 serving, by the way, and depending on how you go. Now, one important thing is we're talking about muscle inflammation, not joint inflammation. Okay, for joint inflammation you need something else. The next supplement I take is creatine. Now, first of all, I'm not affiliated with any of these products. I just want to make that clear. This is just, I went into the shop and just bought what was there. Now, I chose Optimum Nutrition for one reason. It's a big company, and the bigger the company, the more they're concerned about their image, meaning that if for whatever reason the product isn't what it says on the tin, I would be the person who goes to the press and would say, you know what, this is going on. They would have bad press, scandal going on, and that's what these companies don't want. So the smaller the company, the less likely is that what they're saying is in there is going to be in there. Just because one other fact you might have known is that, or maybe you don't know, that the whole supplement industry is not regulated. So whatever says should be in there doesn't have to be in there, at least not in the amounts what they promise you. Just a side note here. I could go on about supplement industry and so on if in a different video. I just want to give you a little chunks here and there, and you let me know what you want to know about. Creatine is probably the most researched sports supplement out there, just because it really works. And I actually, when I studied sports science, and that's a couple of years ago, I know at that point in time, that was when creatine just got sort of really, you know, our university was one of the universities which was in the actual research of the effectiveness of creatine. So I remember there was a study they did in our sports university about sprinting, and they actually asked me if I want to be part of it, and I looked, I was like, no, I don't think so. And it was basically they gave sprinters creatine and wanted to see if they run faster than the ones without creatine, and they had a performance enhancing effect, so they were faster. Now, the reason being, and I'm going to try to make this as easy to understand as possible, your body has something called ATP, adenosine triphosphate, that's what it's called, and your muscle breaks that down during work. And this breakdown process, to rebuild ATP, what your body needs, it uses creatine. And the more creatine you have in your body, meaning the more ATP you have, the more workload you're able to do. And that's why creatine is performance enhancing. At the point when I was at uni and they did this research about it, there was one worry, a big worry about creatine, which was not only the amount, how much you should be taking, and should I do creatine loading or not, but the big worry at that point when I was studying was that your body's ability to utilize creatine, or to create it itself, would go down. So if you supplement it over a long period of time, your body, if you stop taking it, your body wouldn't be able to create it itself or utilize it out of the food you're eating. So that's why they said you should be cycling creatine in terms of cycle every 2 weeks, and then you have 2 to 4 weeks off and you cycle again, which we now know is not true. So you can take it a whole year round, it doesn't really matter. Now, so that's why I take creatine, because in terms of my workload I have with 1,000 reps a day, it does help me to get through the workout, and it's a great supplement. I would recommend it. But if you want to know more about it, make sure you leave a comment and I'll talk about this in more detail and if you should take it or not. Oh, one thing I want to add with the creatine is also that the reason why, even if you're a meat eater, you should supplement with creatine is because in order to get like 5 grams of creatine, you would need to eat 2 pounds of beef or 3 pounds of chicken to get the sufficient amount of creatine, which most of us don't do, and it isn't recommended to eat that much meat anyway, so that's why supplementing with creatine is a good idea. Now, another supplement I take, which I would recommend, is vitamin D3, because it's something most of the Western culture is deficient in because of the less sun we get, and especially in the UK, you know, you've seen it, there's not a lot of sun here. You know, a lot of people are deficient in vitamin D3, and there are lots of things in the body which we need it for. and that's why I supplemented. So let's talk about protein. Protein supplements, protein shakes. Everyone knows protein shakes, protein builds muscle and so on, so you need these shakes. Now, there's always a place when you should be taking them and not, and I'm going to talk about that after we talked about all the supplements. Now, I personally am not taking any protein shakes at the moment. It's not that I don't want to take them, but I get enough protein with my normal diet. I eat enough meat and fish and so on, and eggs, that I'm very sufficient with my protein intake just throughout my food. So this is one reason already why I would recommend to take a protein shake. First of all, maybe if you're a vegetarian and you can't get enough protein in, then it makes sense to take a shake. Or you might be training and it's very convenient, so you can just chuck it into your bag, and after training, just hork down a shake and you're fine, because you know you've got your protein covered. Another really good reason why to take a protein shake is because the macros of the protein shake are really good. You've got 0 fat in there, maybe less than a gram of carbs, and 25 grams of protein. So in terms of hitting your macro target, getting protein shakes is a really great idea. Now, here's the downside of why I think I prefer eating the actual raw source of protein rather than getting the shake in. First reason is that the protein itself, like the meat or the fish or the egg, comes always with more than just the protein itself. So it has the fiber comes with it, some vitamins, minerals, whatever is in that source as well, you eat as, you know, on top. Now the other thing is that the meat and the fish and the eggs, your body digests differently to the actual whey protein or casein, whatever you're drinking. Just because of the less fiber and so on, your body has it's easier to utilize the protein out of the shake than you get out of the meat, for example. Now, why is that a good thing? Because if your body needs to, there's something called the thermic effect of digesting protein, and that effect is higher with actual protein rather than with the protein out of a shake, if that makes sense. So what does that mean? It just means that your body burns calories while breaking down the protein, and your digestion slows down, you know, when you have protein and so on. But I personally believe, and I know out of experience, that eating the actual raw source is much healthier and much better. One other thing I want to add, and this is one reason not to take protein shakes, would be that you have no idea what is actually in the protein shake. Because like I said before, the industry is not regulated, so you have no idea if what they say is in the shake is in the shake. But besides that, let's believe everything would be in the shake still, that whatever else is in that protein shake to make it last long, like have a long shelf life and so on, and taste good in terms of, you know, sweetness and stuff, they put some ingredients in there which I to 100% believe your body is not wanting it, really. For example, most of these shakes are sweetened not with sugar, they're sweetened with a sweetener like aspartame K or something like that. And that has shown in research that itself, for example, aspartame K is a stimulant for appetite. So it's like this Diet Coke thing. If people drink Diet Coke, it's like zero calories, what they believe, but research has shown, there's a really cool study which shows that people who drink Diet Coke actually eat more calories throughout their whole meal because they're hungrier, because it's a stimulant. And that's what happens with some of these shakes. You drink these shakes and they don't do much in terms of satiety. You really feel hungry still after that. Eat the same amount of protein, let's say 25 grams of protein with 100 grams of chicken, I bet you're not that hungry after that chicken compared to the protein shake. So there are pros and cons for protein shakes, and I've been taking them also, not my whole life, but for a long time when I needed them. So it's not like I'm trying to diss them and say don't take them, but I'm a very much believer if you can get stuff from the raw source, take it from there. Yeah, so this is basically it in terms of supplementation for myself, what I take. Now you've got a bit of an idea of what's going on. Just ask me anything you want to know about supplements, because I think this is going to be a series which will continue over the time we're spending here together. Yeah, I'm happy to break all this stuff down, and maybe I'll bring out a guide in terms of supplementation of, you know, which one should you be taking if you're a beginner, if you're advanced, if you're an athlete, if you're a heavy lifter, if you do high reps, if you are into sports, you know, like playing a sport or something like soccer. What should you be doing? I'm happy to give you guidance on that, but I need to know what you want. So you need to, you know, tell me. That's how it works. Cool. If you like this video, this is a very short one. I don't know how short it is or how long. So if you like this video, you know, punch the like button, punch the subscribe button again, and yeah, I think I've said everything, right? So I'll see you guys tomorrow.